Hey everyone. I know today we're talking about the 4 dimensions of cultural intelligence, and I'm going to focus on the first one, which is drive. I feel like as an athlete, that's something that just pertains to me. Like, I get it. You have to have a certain motivation in order to accomplish what you want to do in life. So that's what I want to talk about. And actually, this is a great time. I just got home from work. I work at Saigon Bistro, which is a Vietnamese restaurant. So it's kind of cool that we're talking about cultural intelligence, because when I first started working there a few months ago, it was a giant culture shock. I mean, most of the cooks there speak Vietnamese, and it just takes a lot of, and then all of the food prep people in the back and dishwashers are Hispanic, and they speak very little English. And then the Vietnamese cooks speak very little English. We call our chef because nobody really knows his real name. So there's a lot of little things like that like I've learned since I've been working there, and it was huge. I've never had any experiences like that. I've traveled very little outside of the United States, but being immersed in their culture like every single day that I work, for hours, actually working together and trying to accomplish a common goal, it's been a really good learning experience, and I've learned a lot and just how to interact with people. I loved in the book whenever he talked about how he learned so much more about cultural intelligence whenever he had to go through it than like all of the classes that he's taken in college, which I feel the same way. Like, we've all taken the cultural intelligence classes, which were great, and I never really understood the hardship of it until I was thrown into the fire. So drive basically is just the motivation that you have to learn about cultural intelligence and things like that. And some of the really big developing things that we need to talk about is being honest with yourself is the first one, because I feel like this is something that I'm decent at because I'm very intrinsically motivated and introverted. But being honest with yourself is basically just your level of self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? Can you be honest in how you feel about cultural intelligence? Can you be honest in which cultures make you more nervous and more uncomfortable, and which ones are you hesitant to get to know better? Things like that. These are all really important in your first step to developing your cultural intelligence level. So that's something that we should work on. And then I'm going to skip down to number 3 because it's eat and socialize. This is a really, really good developing skill that I've learned because I work at a Vietnamese restaurant where we serve food all the time. I was always the person that was very comfortable with their food. I don't like to try new things. If it looks funny, I won't eat it. If it smells funny, I won't eat it. If I can't pronounce it, I won't eat it. So that's always just kind of been my personal comfort zone until I started working here, because free food all the time, which is really nice. So I started trying new things, and when I tell you there is not one thing on the menu that I tried that I don't like, I'm not kidding. Every single appetizer I tried, every single entree I tried, I mean, soups, pastas, meat, it doesn't matter. Every single thing that I tried that I loved. And going off of that, I told you a lot of our dishwashers and meal preps and everything, like people like that, they're in the back, are Hispanic. So a lot of times, like, they go home and they just cook all the time, and it's amazing. And so they bring food every morning whenever we're like opening the restaurant and stuff. And I got to try all of their new foods and how to eat them and things like that. And I 100% agree that developing your social intelligence level, I mean, if you eat and socialize with people from another culture, 100% it's just gonna raise the roof. It's probably the quickest way I could have learned. I mean, they're teaching me how to use chopsticks and what sauces go on what and how to mix certain things and things like that. And also, when you think about eating, like, what do you do on all the holidays and things like that? You eat with your family, your friends. That's just something you do when you go out. Everybody's guard is down. It's something that every culture has in common. Everybody loves to eat. Everybody has their own specific food. So it's just a really good way to connect to other people. Something that's like a mutual understanding. You don't even have to talk to understand, And then for our last one, I'm going to talk about number 5, which is to work for something bigger. I'm going to relate this more to my athletic side. Playing college softball has been so much fun. I'm on my 5th year now. I've been here forever. And something that I have really worked on these past few years that's different from my freshman year is playing for something bigger than myself. My freshman year, I was a good player. I worked really hard. I loved my teammates and everything like that, but I was still, I would say, more of like a selfish player. Like, I was in it for myself. When I got up to bat, I wanted to get on because of, like, I wanted to get on. I wanted to be the one on base. I wanted to be the one to score. I wanted to win the game, things like that. And over the past few years, I've learned so much in just this group setting, and it helps playing. It can be exhausting. I mean, we have 6 a.m. workouts 3 days a week, conditioning 3 days a week, most of the time at 6 a.m. I mean, imagine running a mile at 6 a.m. or sprints for an hour. Like, it gets really monotonous and tiring. And finding that thing that's bigger than yourself, something that you can work towards with a group of people, especially 4 people, if you can figure out how to work for the people around you instead of for yourself, it's a game changer. It makes it worth it every single day that you get up. So that's something I would encourage if you guys are being immersed into a different culture or something like that, you're having a really hard time. Be honest with yourself, what you need to work on. Try to eat and socialize and have fun. Let your guard down. It's not the end of the world and everything's gonna get better. And working for something bigger because it makes this all easier. So, thanks.